Hey guys! So I was just finishing up another Facebook Live for a friend of mine, and I was actually really moved to come on here and do another live for you guys. So I just had a quick drink of water, and I wanted to come in today because I get this asked all the time. It's one of the number one questions I get asked from my customers and my potential customers. Which diet is best for you? There are so many freaking diets out there. There've been so many since like the 80s. It's ridiculous. We've got paleo, we've got vegan, we've got vegetarian, we've got keto now is the big one. We've got South Beach, Atkins, the Mediterranean diet, Weight Watchers, all of these different diets, all promising the same thing, that you're going to achieve your weight loss results. But which one actually works? Which one is the best diet for you? I need to come on here and tell you guys this. I need to tell you the secret is this. It depends. It depends on the person. Okay, now I do not believe in diets. I don't believe diets do work to a certain extent. However, and by the way, I'm going to get into talking about how you can find which one works for you. So hang tight. We're going to talk about that in a moment. You are not going to be lost here. Diets work to a certain extent. They will most likely get the weight off, but there's a reason why a lot of these diets you work really hard, you get some weight off, but the moment you breathe, you gain it all back again, right? We've all been there. Or some of the diets we do, you get on them and you feel like crap. Some diets you do, you feel great, but then the results aren't coming. We've all been here. We've all run through the gamut of trying all these different diets and seeing some of them work for a little bit and then not working. You're seeing some of them not working at all. Some of them you feel great. Some of them you feel like crap in. There is a reason for this. You are an individual person. You are an individual human being. They have been trying to tell us for years that weight loss is a matter of science. You burn 3,500 calories, you lose a pound a week. That's the science. But if that were the case, none of us would be struggling. None of us would be here where we are today. Am I right? None of us would be here because we've all done that. We've all cut back on 3,500 calories. We've all gone down to eating 1,200 calories a day and working out for an hour a week or an hour a day. And it's not happening for us. And that's because you can't quantify something like this. You can't quantify an individual person. Yeah, we all have the same type of body parts, but how that works, how our hormones work together, how our chemicals work together, it's all different. So to say that one specific diet works for everybody is a load of bullshit, and we all know it. It's just so confusing because we've got all these new ones, and now we want to try all the newest and latest one because maybe that'll work for me. And I get it, but it's just simply not the case. What works for one person might not work for another. What works for one person might work for 6 months, but not another. This is why when you see trendy diets, and I'm going to say this just because it is the trendy diet of the moment, the keto diet is a trendy diet, and there are certain things I really love about the keto diet, and there's certain things I don't. And people get on there and say, oh, I lost like such and such amount of money in 1 year on the keto diet, everyone needs to do it. But there's not enough evidence for that one particular person to say, okay, well, 3 years down the line, I'm still loving keto. I'm still having great health. I've maintained all my results. I still think that keto is something that everybody should do. I think it's wary when you hear that happen, because what worked for that person, keto may have worked for that person for a specific reason. And their specific body type, whatever they've got going on, their hormones, it worked for them. You're not that person. It may not work for you. It may work for you, or may work for you for a little bit of time. I don't know, because I'm not you. So this is why really I need to tell you, you need to be an advocate for you. I know it's confusing. I know this whole industry is fucked up and confusing. I hope you're not around kids right now. I do swear. it is very confusing, but it becomes less confusing when you understand two main things. One, that you are an individual person. You have individual nutrition and nutritional needs. And number two, you take an active interest in figuring out what that is in your body and how you can create the right diet for you going forward. Because there are some people who doing, Atkins to a T works for them beautifully. But there's other people who do much better when they do Atkins with a twist or keto with a twist. You have to find what works for you. There's a lot of people who do really well on keto, but they do need a little bit more carbs than keto tells you to. Like for me personally, what I'm loving right now is a keto type diet, but I don't get into ketosis every day. I don't take exogenous ketones. I don't do all that, but I do well. I feel well. My relationship with food has changed because I've started eating more higher fats. However, I also have a thyroid condition, and it's been known that having a little bit more carbohydrates in your diet when you have a thyroid condition can really help. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm still playing around with that to this day. I've been playing around with my diet for the last 10 years because not one diet is going to work for you. So you have to understand everything that's going on in your system. You have to understand how your individual body works, which you can do by getting a full hormone panel. You can start to write down how you feel when you eat certain foods, what your goal is, because a goal, someone who's an athlete is going to have a way different goal, way different nutritional needs than someone who, is just trying to keep up with their kids. It's going to be completely different. So what works for an athlete is not going to work for you. It's not going to be the same thing. They're going to need more and less of some things than you're going to need more and less of. So just because a celebrity tells you they're endorsing some diet that they've done, or you've heard from the tabloids that they did this diet to get into that shape, it really does not mean that that's something you need to be doing too. You really need to be understanding how you work and what works for you. And that means you need to take an active interest in your body. You need to take an active interest in how food affects you. All right? So I would way rather you shove all of these stupid labels out the window. I don't want you thinking about paleo, keto, vegan, none of that. Just throw it out the window and start working on the you diet. I work on the Therese diet. Maybe you want to work on the Cindy diet or the Jen diet or whoever you are, you work on the diet that works for you, nobody else. And so to get started with that, as I was saying, it can start very clearly by taking the foods that you are currently eating, understanding and writing down, I ate this for lunch, and asking yourself, how do you feel later? Or conversely, and this is what I did, take some of this stuff out. Take out all the processed foods, all the things we kind of know we probably shouldn't eat. Take that stuff out for a couple of weeks and start to add that back in, and then ask yourself how you feel. Because that's how you're going to understand what foods affect you in different ways. So for me, I took out all processed food. I also took out a lot of well-known inflammatory food items like red meats, grains, dairy, nuts, seeds. Oh my goodness, what else did I take out? Obviously sugar, even caffeine. I took all of those things out of my diet for at least 30 days. Actually, I think I did about 6 to 8 weeks of taking those things out of my diet and then slowly starting to bring them back in one at a time. And I started to monitor how my body felt after eating that. Sometimes it can take a day or two for your body to actually really respond to these foods. They can be sneaky. I asked how I felt physically with digestion. I asked myself how I felt mentally. Did I feel good? How's my mood? Do I feel good or irritable? Can I think straight, or am I a little bit foggy? Because we don't understand that nutrition can actually play a lot of neurological roles. And a lot of times what we think is just a foggy mindset actually originates in your digestive system. So you really need to think your whole body when you start adding these foods back in. And then if you find like you feel energized, you feel great, you feel better than ever, then keep eating it. But if you find that you're feeling sluggish, or you're running to the bathroom every 5 minutes, or that you for no reason freaked out on your kids or your spouse, that's probably not something to bring back into your diet. That's a really easy way for you to really start to understand your own personal diet. Like, I know a ton of people who cannot tolerate coffee. They get the jitters, they feel anxious, they might have like, their jaw might lock up a little bit. They can't do coffee. For me, I could have like 3 cups of coffee and I'm fine. I can have a cup of coffee at 9:30 at night and I'll crash and go right to bed. Like, I'm fine. But some people can't. So if you're the type of person who you can't, you know that you get super anxious after you have coffee, dude, get the coffee out of your life. It's not going to kill you. That is part of your diet. That is part of your special nutrition needs. All right. So this is why you cannot let a label dictate how you live your life. And if you are doing a label, for God's sake, don't let that be the end all and be all. Okay, because I can tell people that I eat a fairly paleo, keto diet, but sometimes I let in some grains. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means my body's fine with grains every once in a while. We need to get rid of these labels. Stop labeling yourself. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much you love it. Take the label out and just say, I'm doing the such and such diet. Like, if I'm going to tell you what diet I'm on, I'm going to tell you I am doing the Therese diet because this is what works for me. And you will have to tweak it, because that's the other thing. You ain't getting any younger. And the older you get, the more your nutrition needs change. So what worked for you 5 years ago is probably not going to work for you. It might not work for you today. So you have to understand that you can try that, but you're going to have to tweak it. You're going to have to constantly sit there and say, wow, like, I used to be able to, I don't know, eat watermelons just fine, and now I can't stomach having a watermelon. Don't overthink it. Just understand that your nutrition needs have changed. And just act with it. Stop being so stubborn about it. Change is not a bad thing. Do you want to feel great, or do you want to feel like crap? It's up to you. It's up to you. Another way that you can do this is by creating a health team and really getting yourself tested. There are some various tests where instead of doing this whole elimination thing, you can just, you can order like a Dutch test or something like that. That's going to tell you what your body really doesn't do well with. This is not perfect. It really isn't perfect. There are some things that sometimes pop up that really don't mean anything. You get like a false positive or vice versa. So really actually spending the time to do that elimination, yeah, it takes a while, but it's worth it. It is worth it. You need to become the commander-in-chief of your own body. No doctor knows your body better than you do. I'm sorry. It's true. Your doctor cannot tell you what makes your body feel good. Now, you can know that processed food is not going to make your body feel good. Like, you still want to eat like good, clean, whole foods. But the ratio of those foods, or which foods, like some people can't eat tomatoes. They actually, certain tomatoes give me heartburn. I can't really do it. I'm not going to take a Pepto-Bismol. I'm just not going to eat a lot of tomatoes because my body doesn't like it. You are the only person who can do that for yourself. You need to take an interest. Your health is the only thing you've got. And if you ignore your health, I mean, you know what happens if you ignore the relationship with your kids or your spouse or your friend, right? If you ignore that relationship, what's going to happen down the line? It's going to end, right? It's the same with your body and your health. If you ignore your health, if you take it for granted on a daily basis, it's going to leave you. And then you will be forced to handle it after the fact, after the heart attack, after the disease diagnosis, after whatever. You will be forced to deal with it. So why not just start now and prevent any of that crap from happening? This is the only body you have in this life, and you're taking it for granted. You take it for granted, it will go away. It will give you ill health. You will get no more energy. You will feel unhappy. You will be diagnosed with things. Did you know ADD and ADHD, you can actually start to work on that and cure that through your food? Because it's all neurological. What you eat goes up here too. Everything you put in your body is going to affect every part of your body. If you take that for granted, the universe is going to pay you back by saying, well, she doesn't give a crap, so we're not going to give a crap about that anymore. And that's when you're going to start getting diseased. You're going to start getting sick all the time. You're going to start wondering why you have no energy all the time. It's because you've taken your body for granted. This is why it is so important for you to stop taking it for granted. Start creating a relationship with it. Start listening to what it needs. And respond accordingly. Feed it what it needs, not what you think you want in the moment. There's a time and place for that. I mean, there are so many healthy foods that are deliciously amazing for you. And it's not that I don't eat junk food. Trust me, I just had Canada Day weekend. I spent 2 days recovering because I ate a lot of the stuff that I don't normally eat. But on a daily basis, like 80% of the time, you can do this. And if this is hard for you, this is what I do. This is why I'm here. It's to help you guys understand how to do this in an easier way, to help guide you through this and to help create that healthy relationship with your body and to help you create a symbiotic relationship so that you and your body are working together as one happy family. So you don't have to worry about the burnout. You don't have to worry about the disease. You don't have to worry about getting all of these diagnoses. It's all up to you. So throw away the labels and start to commit to prioritizing your own personal health. Okay, guys? I hope that was helpful. Hope that cleared up some things. I got a little passionate there. But just know what works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And just because it's popular doesn't mean you have to go and do it. Read, go on Google, search for the research, search for the, not just for whatever it is that you're looking for, but search for reasons why you might not want to consider doing it, because there are certain populations that absolutely should not do specific diets like keto. You know, it was created for a specific reason. Or should you, if you're in keto, should you stay in it for life? There are certain people who say yes, and there are a lot of people who say no, that it is not a lifetime diet to have. But it's the same with anything else. It's the same with being vegan. It's the same as being paleo. There are some populations that do much better being on those diets than other people. So I beg you, do not blindly believe what you see in the paper, on Facebook, what other people are doing. Be interested in it and learn. Okay? Thanks, Lillian. I haven't seen you in ages. Thank you. Passionate message. And I'm just passionate about this in general because I've been through it myself and I've been coaching for 5 years and I see people do this all the time. They go from one diet to another, to another, to another, and then they feel like crap because they think that it's something they did wrong. You are not doing anything wrong, okay? It's not your fault for this. That diet probably just wasn't right for you because it's not what your body needed. You need to find what it is that your body needs. So if you need help with that, you need someone to help guide you through that. I'd be happy to help. This is what I do, and I can guide you into figuring out who to go to, how to get tested, and guide you through your own test, all right? You can send me a message. You can put your comments below, whatever that is for you. Speaking of which, I need to go eat some food. Delia, so very on point. I do love your passion. Thank you. I so get on my soapbox, don't I? You can tell when I'm having fun, and then I get really loud when I'm passionate. And I swear a lot too. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this was helpful to you. If there's any specific topic you want me to talk about, I would love to hear because I'd love to talk to you guys more about this kind of stuff. So you can put that in the comments or you can send me a private message. And I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day and that you start learning whatever it is that makes your body tick, whatever it makes your body work. All right, guys, see you later.